Our top story: after more than a decade of war, hundreds of billions of dollars spent, vast numbers killed, we may be about to see the democratic election of a stable and representative government in Afghanistan, though maybe not the one many expected or would even like to see.
My message to the Afghan people is that we want what you want, which is a strong, safe, stable, democratic Afghanistan living in peace and stability with its neighbours. We want that country to be run by the Afghans, for the Afghans, with an Afghan army and police force to provide that security and that stability.
But it may not take the form that either David Cameron speaking there or many others wanted or even expected. The Taliban hinting it may form a political party and even contest the upcoming presidential elections. And by all accounts, it does have a solid chance at the ballot. This map shows you the regions that are either poised for a Taliban comeback or have areas that are already heavily under their control, according to data from the Carnegie Endowment. Let's get more on the Taliban chances now at the ballot box with former Afghan MP and political analyst Dawood Sultanzoy. Thank you very much for joining us here on RT. So you know how fragmented the political landscape of Afghanistan is. What do you make of the Taliban's chances in the voting booth?
It's a very interesting situation. It's not Afghanistan is not the Afghanistan of the 1990s, and a lot has changed. But at the same time, we lost some opportunities. The Western world also plundered their chances, and we also did the same. So the people are confused. People are not fully supporting the Taliban's agendas that they were proposing earlier, but it is up to the Taliban to show their real face, not the face that is pushed by the British intelligence or the Pakistani intelligence, because this last move from Istanbul, when this fellow announced, as a fellow by the name of Michael Sample, and a British fellow is also involved in that. So this is a bit confusing for the people of Afghanistan, but I hope that they will show their true face and true agenda.
And interesting that you say true face. What is the Taliban's true face at this point? Because it has just been kind of a shadowy presence in the country, this insurgency, and they've been used to running an insurgency, but actually having people to put forward, faces to show people, and actually take a part in the government. What do you think would happen?
You know, every paramilitary group looks larger than life when they're in battlefields and fighting a guerrilla war. But when they come to a political front, then the proof is there. And these people have to present an agenda to the people of Afghanistan and present a team. The old Taliban, the old agendas will not be acceptable to the Afghan people.
Now, the U.S. and its allies have spent more than a decade now, or about a decade, trying to get the Taliban out of Afghan life, out of military control, out of any kind of political control of the country. Could they afford now the chance for it to actually take a role in the country? Do you think that they would allow them to become a legitimate party, or would they say, as far as we're concerned, no Taliban in any leadership role in Afghanistan?
I think the West is confused. The West is looking for an exit, a very speedy exit, and I'm afraid that they will probably do whatever is possible, whatever is convenient to put up a very, very tenuous formula and a very temporary fix and leave, and then things will go back to where it had started. That's the problem, and the region has to realize that we have to find sustainable fixes for this problem, not temporary face-saving thing for the NATO to leave and then leave a big problem for Afghanistan and for the neighborhood.
So if the Taliban were to come back into a kind of leadership role in the country, do you think it would be the Taliban, the imposing Sharia law kind of dictatorship that it was before the U.S. invasion, or do you think it would actually have a legitimate role to play in something of a democracy there?
This is the main question. This is the biggest question. And when I said true face, that's what I meant. They have to come and spell out their agenda, and their ideology so far has been the old system. They want an Emirat of Afghanistan, not a Republic of Afghanistan. And so far, they have not changed that tone. And unless they change that, the people of Afghanistan will not be supporting a Taliban that want to reverse things back to the Stone Age, and we cannot afford that. Afghanistan has to live in this world, in this neighborhood, and Afghanistan is an Islamic country. Taliban cannot make us better Muslims than we are.
Do you think an elected Taliban could save face, so to speak, for the Western groups there? Well, they may say, okay, well, the Taliban's here, but this time it's by vote, so that's good enough?
I think that's the fear. When I mentioned Mr. Mike Sample, who is a British fellow who was involved in this announcement in Istanbul, or at least he had something to do with it, this is what worries the people of Afghanistan, that maybe they want to come with a quick fix and just bring a face-saving situation where the Taliban will win an election and then they'll wash their hands and leave a mess for us in this region and for this country.
Now, it's no secret that many Afghans are weary of the current government situation. They're in a political situation there. Could the Taliban win via a protest vote?
I think the Taliban, as I said earlier, the Taliban are looking larger than life in the military front. At the same time, having said that, this government has so many problems. The Western world have lost their credibility, and this government has no credibility. So in that sort of a situation, the Taliban, had they been smart, they would have scored big in the political front, but they don't have a political agenda. That's why they're all sort of fumbling. But I think the Taliban can take advantage of this void and fill that vacuum, but they have to come with a winnable strategy to convince the people of Afghanistan that they mean business and they are prepared for the new Afghanistan, not the old Afghanistan.
All right, Dawood Sultan Zoe, thank you very, very much for your insight.